What's up, guys? I'm LQ. This is the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me here on my YouTube channel. This is where we talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that we love to talk about. And right now, I would like to give you guys my review of today's episode of Star Trek Discovery. Today's episode was Season 3, Episode 8, titled The Sanctuary. And it's funny, because this episode was directed by the great Jonathan Frakes. He has directed some of my favorite Star Trek content. Unfortunately, this episode was the worst episode of Star Trek Discovery Season 3. It's not the worst episode of Star Trek Discovery. That's all of Season 2. But this was the worst episode of Star Trek Discovery Season 3. And it just didn't grab me. I didn't find the narrative to be compelling. I didn't find it to be that interesting. This one involved a book and kind of returning to his world and kind of dealing with a story that had to do with him. And once again, since it had to do with book, it had to do with Michael Burnham. And I'm just kind of getting tired of the over dramatic, overacting that we're getting from Michael Burnham. It's one of those things where what's her name? Sonequa Martin Green from The Walking Dead, Sasha. She is a good actress, but she's chosen to portray Michael Burnham as a selfish, self-centered, overacting individual. She is the most dramatic person in Star Trek history. The most dramatic person in Star Trek history. She's more dramatic than Sybok from Star Trek V: The Final Frontier. More dramatic. And by the way, where was Sybok when Spock and Michael Burnham were being raised? Where was Sybok? How come we've never heard anything? I need to put a video out that discusses where was Sybok. Guys, I have harped on this a little bit, but I've been so high on Star Trek Discovery Season 3 that I really haven't harped on it much, but I'm not a fan of Michael Burnham's character. And it's funny because she is the main character in Star Trek Discovery. But she's hard to like. She's not a likable person. And I want to get past that, and I want her to get past that, and I want to get to a point where we're rooting for her as the hero, the main protagonist of the series. And I can't find myself rooting for her. I root for Saru. I love Saru. He's my dude. I love a lot of the characters from Star Trek Discovery. I don't really love Michael Burnham, and she's the one we're supposed to love. Now, I do like Book. I think that Book is a compelling character. I think that he's somebody that he's kind of Star Trek Discovery's Han Solo, and I think that the show needed a character like him, kind of a scoundrel with a heart of gold, like Han Solo, but he doesn't necessarily work when you juxtapose him against Michael Burnham. They don't really work together. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of what they've decided to make her character. Everywhere she goes, drama follows. And I realize this is a dramatic space show, so I try to approach it with a little bit of forgiveness. But it really weighed on me on this episode because Star Trek Discovery Season 3 has been so good, and this episode, it was so uninteresting to me that the drama of Michael Burnham just stood out. And it made the episode less enjoyable for me. But all that being said, this is still Star Trek Discovery on a high note. The season, not the episode, the season is still Star Trek Discovery on a high note. It's been fantastic so far. I'm so happy that they hit that reset button by bringing the series into the future, so they could explore a Starfleet far in the future, free of the shackles of the shows that came before. That was a brilliant idea. And the execution has been pretty good. Now I want them to get to the point where it's not the Michael Burnham show anymore, that it is the show of the cast and crew of Star Trek Discovery, and make her the lead in an ensemble show that truly showcases all the crew member of Discovery and makes it in the vein of Star Trek The Next Generation and the best Trek that came before. You know, William Shatner's Captain Kirk, and even Patrick Stewart's Jean-Luc Picard, they were always the headliners. They were always the main stars, but you always had supporting cast who got their episodes, right? There were episodes centered around Worf. There were episodes centered around Data. There were episodes centered around Crusher, around Sulu. Episodes centered around Spock, around Bones. There were episodes centered around the supporting characters, and we really don't get that in Star Trek Discovery. It's the Michael Burnham show. I want to learn more about the crew of Star Trek Discovery and really have those episodes that dive into who these people are and explore them as individuals, and maybe make these characters from Star Trek Discovery, who are in reality really starting to grow on me now that we have a strong season, really make them fleshed out characters to where they can stand the test of time against all the stories that have been told in Star Trek. They can stand on their own. That's what I want to see, and it's not happening right now because it's all about Michael Burnham and what drama is going to follow her next. I liked this episode more than I liked most of Season 2, but it did not stack up well against Season 3. That's just my take on it, though. What did you think of Star Trek Discovery Season 3, Episode 8, titled, what was it titled? Sanctuary? Yeah, titled Sanctuary, directed by Jonathan Frakes. Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your take on it. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. And as always, thank you so much for joining me here at the LQ Review, where we get to talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff we love to talk about. Until next time, we'll see you guys later.